A handful of the largest global tech companies have managed to amass an enormous amount of power over how information is consumed. In some cases, these new platforms have been used to exacerbate, fuel, and deepen the divisions within our communities. We've already seen evidence of elections and referendums being influenced. A rise in online abuse, misogyny, and religious hatred. Fake news spreading misinformation. Algorithms blinkering us from different points of view and pushing people to extremes. And terrorists and far-right groups using social media to not only conspire, but to radicalize and brainwash others.
Everything he said is back on him. He literally protects known members of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and lets them come back to the country and attack people. My name, my children, my treasure, my soul is on the line to defeat these parasite globalists. And I'm feeling good. You want to know their number, if you want to know their kryptonite, if you want to know what they fear, it's InfoWars. It's you. It's Americana. It's God-fearing people of every race, color, and creed who bleed red blood. Now, I'll get more into the deepest of the deep state, Clinton command base, CIA, leftist faction, Jesuit, globalist, Vatican, El Supremo operation. And again, I'm not anti-Catholic. I'm anti-leftist globalists that are taking control of the Catholic Church with this new Pope, 100% saying China and communism is the model of Christianity. And I heard 30, 40 years ago preachers saying there'll be a Pope that calls for communism and one world religion. I'd roll my eyes. You know, remember the popes before that were bringing down communism and stuff. And now he's there pushing it. I mean, this is a takeover. And Georgetown is the Jesuit command base. And it is more important than Harvard and Yale when it comes to the State Department. It is what runs that, basically. And to have Georgetown Law put out an editorial, just like you'll have an endorsement or a non-endorsement of a candidate, there's no name on it. That means it's the dean. And then this whole thing about how I don't deserve speech and I need to be silenced, it sounds like something Mao Zedong would write. That's coming up. But it was the Jesuits and the whole leftist arm that helped put Mao into power. God almighty, that's all. It's all on record. It's just incredible. The Society of Jesus is now the Society of the Globalists and the Communist Party. And they're making their move. In fact, I was told by high-level CIA sources that I was going to have Catholics in action take a big move at me in the next month. And boy, here it is. A direct frontal attack. So I guess everything's full circle because it was my, I don't know, I say ninth generation, but I'm an eighth generation Texas. My children are ninth generation. Came into Texas in the early 1820s. It was Mexican land grant. And a lot of my family was from Alabama, Tennessee, and Virginia. But on my mom's side, he was the heirs and the Greshams and all those folks were successful, very successful, rich folks in New York. Strangely enough, they sold some of the slaughterhouses and stuff that later the Rockefellers got that the UN buildings owned on. My family once owned that property on that side. He sold everything he had and bought a shipload of Bibles. Back then, a Bible, you know, cost the equivalent of thousands of dollars a day of King James Version Bibles. And they had a big shootout with the Jesuits in Galveston, but they got the Bibles through. And they were directly working with President Andrew Jackson at the time to quarterback a plan to overthrow this sector and bring the Republic in. So it's just strange how things revolve. My ancestors working with the President Jackson. Trump fashions himself after Jackson, and I'm working with Trump again. Yes, history repeats, ladies and gentlemen. It's magic. It's real. I am those ancestors. And, you know, Trump's a got a great lineage of German and is Scot like Jackson. And here we are. It's on, ladies and gentlemen. Trump's not perfect, but he's trying to be the president. And Tillerson has been removed. Tillerson has been a double dealer. Trump's assistant has also been let go, and a bunch of other people. He had Pompeo, legally and lawfully, because they are agents of globalists, looking into folks at the White House. And we're now into year number 2, and Trump knows who's loyal, and Trump knows who isn't. And so let me just say, we're going to give you as good as you give us. So enjoy yourselves, everyone. Because Trump has just decided to take full command of the White House, and it's on. In fact, we're going to play some of Trump coming up in the next segment. I've got a ton of clips to get to here, but let me tell you something. We got calls days ago. They were trying to bully Leanne McAdoo and telling her they were going to sue her and all this stuff. They've really tried to pressure her and do a lot of things to her the last few years to get her to make stuff up about this operation, and she's just such a good person, she never did it. Then her grandmother had a brain tumor, and she's been taking care of her, but still been working, and she's here right now. And it just so happened that she comes about 3 or 4 times a year from Florida, and she was just here when all this came down, and they really put the drill bits to her. She just had Lee Stranahan on, who teaches a journalism school, and never said anything. He just said, look how they pick people who are Democrat-connected to sit there and parrot talking points all over the news. And, you know, it says that in this lawsuit. It says, from Vegas to Parkland, Florida, Jones says nobody died and it's all fake. That's not true. The lawsuit itself is a defamatory screed of propaganda. And that's what, do you understand? We got 2 lawsuits dismissed this week, and I'm allowed to reveal the stuff, but the lawyers are still looking at whether I should. We got to send a letter to the Fury guy with the frog, because we have to do that before we sue him, and it's open and shut. And my lawyers don't tell me that unless it is. I mean, it's anti-slapback provision, open and shut. The problem is this is going to take money. But now they've got a taxpayer-funded university suing, trying to end the free speech. And you've got Sadiq Khan yesterday at UT. We were going to go cover that, or at South by Southwest, down by UT. The London mayor who wants to get rid of free speech, who lets Antifa beat people up, who's banning images of women in bathing suits. He's bringing Sharia law in. And the guy is a nightmare. And he says, get rid of free speech, calling it hate speech. London mayor Sadiq Khan tells Silicon Valley to censor hate speech. And that means us. They're coming for the First Amendment. It's here. Let's play that clip.
A handful of the largest global tech companies have managed to amass an enormous amount of power over how information is consumed. In some cases, these new platforms have been used to exacerbate, fuel, and deepen the divisions within our communities. We've already seen evidence of elections and referendums being influenced, a rise in online abuse, misogyny, and religious hatred, fake news spreading misinformation, algorithms blinkering us from different points of view and pushing people to extremes, and terrorists and far-right groups using social media to not only conspire, but to radicalize and brainwash others.
Everything he said is back on him. He literally protects known members of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and lets them come back to the country and attack people. He is a monster. And, of course, Twitter, Facebook, and Google work with Pakistan to arrest blasphemers and have them executed. So that's what,
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Oh, well," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you." Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the vicious snake. This could be the great Trojan horse of all time. Because you look at the migration, study it, look at it. Now they'll start infiltrating with women and children. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman. Sighed the vicious snake. Now she clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in, by now you might have died. She stroked his pretty skin, and then she kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bit me, heavens why. You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Fuel your body with Carnivore, the new digestive enzyme product by InfoWars Life. Digestive enzymes assist in the digestion process and increase the bioavailability of nutrients by breaking down foods into easily absorbable components. They also help prevent discomfort from indigestion caused by fermentation of undigested food particles in the gut. Digestive enzyme production declines as we age. Carnivore is filled with digestive enzymes like those naturally present in the body. Enjoy the full potential of protein-rich foods again. You can eat protein-heavy foods now while minimizing the later indigestion and discomfort commonly associated with high-meat diets. Just one pill with every high-protein meal helps increase the bioavailability and absorption of amino acids, the building blocks to your muscles. Carnivore also contains digestive enzymes to help digest fats and carbohydrates so you can fully digest all types of meals. Don't let a meal go to waste. Use Carnivore by InfoWars Life. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and secure your bottle now. That's InfoWarsLife.com.